Albert Camus, the French thinker born in Algeria in 1913 and who died suddenly in a car accident in 1960, established his literary status with works such as The Stranger and The Plague, and constructed a spiritual coordinate for modern people with his absurd philosophy. He won the Nobel Prize in Literature at the age of 44. In his short life, his thoughts, like the sunshine of Algiers, pierced the fog of the times and illuminated the path of human survival in the face of absurdity. Camus' philosophy originated from his profound insight into absurdity in the myth of Sisyphus. He pointed directly to the core. Absurdity stems from the eternal conflict between human beings' persistent pursuit of meaning and the indifferent meaninglessness of the world. Just like Sisyphus pushing a stone up the mountain, the fate of the stone rolling down is a metaphor for the futility of life. This absurdity is not a signal of pessimistic despair, but the starting point of a clear cognition. He firmly opposed escaping absurdity through suicide, considering it philosophical cowardice. He also refused to seek transcendent meaning through religion or metaphysics, ridiculing it as philosophical self-deception. In his view, the essence of absurdity is an indelible rift. Man is mortal, unhappy, and his existence is absurd. But it is precisely this clear cognition that endows people with the courage to face the world. Acknowledging absurdity is exactly the beginning of mastering the initiative of survival. Camus' view of absurdity has a strong worldliness nature, different from Sartre, who emphasized self-creation of essence. He believed that absurdity precedes all choices, and people must re-inject enthusiasm into life on the premise of acknowledging that the world is meaningless. This thought broke the traditional philosophy's obsession with ultimate meaning, drew attention back to specific worldliness survival, and provided a way out for the spiritual dilemmas of the industrial age. Camus' rebellion is by no means a violent subversion, but a kind of survival attitude that adheres to human dignity. He defined in The Rebel, rebellion is man's defense of his own existence, and is the will to refuse to be alienated after recognizing absurdity. The happiness of Sisyphus lies in this. He knows that pushing the stone is futile, but in every bend and every step of climbing, he transforms his fate into an independently chosen action and endows existence with weight through the struggle itself. This rebellion is embodied in 3 dimensions. First, daily rebellion at the individual level, such as Dr. Ryu in The Plague, who insists on treating patients, and the bakery owner who bakes bread as usual, injecting love for life into the repeated daily life. Second, united rebellion at the group level, opposing all forms of oppression and injustice, and advocating fighting power with justice. Third, aesthetic rebellion at the spiritual level, resisting the emptiness of time through experiences such as art, and love in the beauty of the moment. The default text Camus was particularly vigilant against the alienation of absolute rebellion into new tyranny. He criticized revolutionaries for implementing violence in the name of historical necessity, emphasizing that rebellion must adhere to the bottom line of not harming others. This adherence to the boundaries of rebellion distinguishes his thoughts from extremism and becomes a survival philosophy with both strength and temperature. Rebellion is not to destroy the world, but to make the world more suitable for human habitation. Camus' philosophy resonated rapidly after World War II. On the spiritual ruins of post-war Europe, people found a way to face trauma in his works. The struggle of the residents of Oran in The Plague became a metaphor for rebuilding the civilized order. Meursault's untimely behavior to rip apart the alienation of social discipline on individuals, inspiring the exploration of authenticity in existential psychology. In the contemporary era of prevalent consumerism, his thoughts are even more penetrating. When involution and lying flat become buzzwords, Camus' daily rebellion provides a third way, not avoiding competition, nor being kidnapped by success studies, but injecting independently chosen enthusiasm into work, family, and hobbies. His absurd aesthetics have also influenced artistic practices from absurd dramas to the French New Wave cinema. Beckett's Waiting for Godot and Truffaut's The 400 Blows can be seen to depict the brilliance of human nature in meaningless scenes. Camus' thoughts also provide ethical support for social movements. Environmentalists draw strength from his worldliness care, emphasizing that protecting the earth is not for the abstract future, but for the dignity of every life in the present. Civil rights activists quote his discussion on group rebellion, advocating adhering to the bottom line of nonviolence when confronting injustice. This cross-field influence proves that his philosophy is not empty talk in the study, but a practical and vital action program. The contemporary value of Camus' philosophy lies in that it provides a spiritual anchor for the fragmented era. When algorithms constantly define success templates and social media create false meanings, he reminds us what really matters is not to live meaningfully, but to live with enthusiasm. This emphasis on authentic survival has become an antidote to alienation. His thoughts also correct people's perception of happiness. Camus' happiness lies not in reaching the destination, but in devoting oneself to the process. Just like Sisyphus pushing the stone, feeling the tension of muscles and the warmth of the sun in the wrestling with fate, this view of happiness dispels the anxiety of utilitarianism and makes people rediscover the preciousness of daily life. A carefully cooked meal, a sincere conversation, and a dedicated work can all become fortresses against absurdity. Today, when we reread Camus, we read not only a philosophical system, but also an attitude towards life, not avoiding the absurdity of the world, nor giving up the pursuit of beauty, not superstitious about ultimate truth, nor belittling the meaning of the present. As he said, "In the depths of winter, I finally learned that within me there lay an invincible summer." This ability to maintain enthusiasm in despair is exactly the spiritual heritage he left to every era.